Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on the channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to go deeper into crypto, make sure to check out bitlabacademy.com. Guys, here's the thing. Bitcoin went down this morning, and there's a very specific reason for it. And when I told you yesterday, you guys remember yesterday we were looking at why I told you it could possibly go down. We showed you out last night. There was a red dot that appeared on Market Cipher. It's probably still there. It had disappeared this morning. Now it is here again. But we talked about something yesterday that is becoming very apparent. And that is the connection between right now, the stock market and the, I look a little washed out, by the way. I look very pale. Okay. Let me yellow it up. Yep. But we're seeing a connection between the traditional markets, is much better. Traditional markets and crypto right now. So what happened this morning on the traditional markets? Well, there was a jobs report released. The jobs report had a lot of negative feedback to it. It's very interesting, isn't it? Because we've been talking about inflation, right? What's the number one way to fix a lot of the problems we have with supply chain? Hire more people, right? That's how you move more things than you can move, is with more people. You talk to everybody. We go around. We look at, I use the Arby's example again. We keep talking about the Arby's example. 6 o'clock, I went there on a Sunday. They were closed because they didn't have anybody to work. Martin's, that's by my house, which is a really awesome breakfast restaurant. Went by there yesterday morning, got stuck in the drive-thru for like 30 minutes. 2 people working there. In the morning at like 10 o'clock. 2 people inside that restaurant. Wow. And it is extremely busy all the time. I guess it was probably 3 people. They probably had a cook in the back. So there's probably 3 people. But that line is usually parked around the building. Okay. It's weird, isn't it? That we're seeing all of this talk about how people can't get hired. Yet we're getting these jobs reports back that are saying the numbers aren't good. That there aren't as many jobs available as there were. And it seems to be conflicting with what we see with our eye test. So I don't know. I think most people would probably agree with me if I were to just do a poll, which we're not going to do because of our poll disaster yesterday. Most people would probably say it seems like there's more jobs than people right now, but that also is not what the jobs report is telling us. So, very interesting stuff there. We'll continue to watch, but that had a direct impact on Bitcoin dropping. If you look at when Bitcoin dropped, around the opening of the markets is when it started going down. So we're seeing a connection between the real markets. And this is something that I was told last week was going to happen. That's why I came on prepared to talk about it yesterday. And then also in an article yesterday, I talked about it. And then today we saw a literal impact. Now, how long is that going to continue on? I'm not sure. Maybe I can get an update on that at some point on how long that will continue. But for now, we are seeing a connection here. So, I just got a message about it just now. Gee, weird. It seems to be following the stock markets. Almost like I was told that last week. So let's see here. It says the price drops 1% to 2%, and predictably, the idiotic critics come out of the woodwork. Trolls that have nothing in the game, nothing better to do. The genuine investors have gains from beyond a year and know there's more to come. And we're going to look at some evidence of that in the video today. So somebody says nobody wants slave wage jobs, and that's true today. Today that feels true. By next year, that's not going to feel true. I'm here to tell you. As deflation hits, people are going to be desperate to work, and they're going to want those jobs. Yeah. So right now, it feels like the employees have the power. But how long do you think that's going to last for? Well, do you guys not understand how the world works?
Exactly. And it's partially a result of all the money. I mean, they printed 40% of the dollars in existence in the last year or two. So it doesn't feel that dire because there's all this new money coming into the system. When that starts to dry up, eventually people get hungry. And that's when they're willing to do a lot harder work because they need it.
That's exactly what we're going to see. So, but we're also going through kind of this interesting transition between, we talked about this week at the conference, between a new kind of work that's rising up and a new way to make money that's rising up, but we're stuck in the middle right now between how it has been and how it will be And so, people are going to be forced to work again next year. I can assure you that. So, all right, guys, 1.42 million subscribers. Thank you to all the love on the YouTube channel. 705.9 thousand followers here on Twitter. We also have 375 on Instagram. I've got almost 5,000 on my personal one where I take personal photos, nothing crypto there. 2.7 million on TikTok. I meant to shout out my wife's account, but I don't know what it is. I'll have to pull that up tomorrow on Monday, maybe.
It's Bethany Reads a lot, isn't it?
That's her Instagram account. If you guys want to follow my wife
TikTok. Yeah.
on Instagram, it's Bethany Reads a Lot. And she really does. She really does read a lot, more than any human you've ever known. So it shows a little bit about my wife and our life at home and stuff like that. So if you want to follow her, she's got 10.6 thousand followers. She has more followers than I do.
Huh.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? She's been making TikToks. She wants people to hit up her TikTok account. So
she should put the link in her Instagram.
Yeah, honey, put your link in your Instagram, and then we'll shout that out. Did you see that?
No.
I hit the can and it rolled around and went right back here.
Yeah.
Could have been a huge disaster.
That happened to me when we were in Miami. Somebody hit my hand and I dropped my Red Bull can out of my hand, but I caught it probably a foot below before it touched the ground, but barely anything spilled.
That is amazing. Somebody made a comment here, by the way. Isn't that cool when you do that, when you make a cool move? I like that. Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of a cool haircut or of a bad haircut. Somebody said there simply isn't a need to have as many newly created positions. And I agree with that. I think that is definitely true. We're seeing AI. We're seeing a lot of positions filled. I think due to the pandemic, a lot of people had to downsize. We'll start Market Watch over in a second. But we started seeing the lessening of the need for workers in a lot of positions. I think that is factoring in. One other thing I want to talk to you guys about, which is BitBoy Crypto. Do we have the jobs page ready now? Is there a jobs page yet?
Email. We made an email.
Yeah, we did make the email, but
there's no page yet. No.
We will be doing a page at some point. Guys, we have a job opening here. We actually have a few open here, but we're just going to talk about one this morning. We are looking for a person with crypto experience, and I would say at least some form of marketing or SEO experience.
Yeah.
This is an in-house position, so you'd have to work here in the metro Atlanta area. We're in Cobb County, a little bit north of Atlanta. This is an in-person position. Basically, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be helping us. We actually run like almost 10 total channels, or assist with at least 10 total channels. Your job will be titles on YouTube. That would be your entire job. Is titles.
Optimized.
So, optimized titles. So we can walk you through on what that looks like, how to do it, how to have the right ones, but you'll be here in person, helping us with all of that. So if you want to check that out, send an email with your resume to jobs@bitboycrypto.com. Jobs@bitboycrypto.com, and you can drop that in the chat. So, we'll put the Pluto Alliance stuff in the Q&A because a lot of people are asking about that.
Sure.
Okay. All right, let's move on here, guys. Here we go. We got the market coming in at $2.557 trillion, $119 billion in volume. Bitcoin dominance staying about the same at 41%. ETH dominance actually dropping just a hair, 20.5%. It was up at 21%. For 55.5 Paraguays, you can send an ETH transaction. We have Bitcoin coming in $55,259, just down 1% or 2%, like we said. So 1.38% still up for the week. Ethereum at 43.80, down 2%. It just feels like every time it starts getting ready to run, ETH does, Bitcoin dumps. Every time. Can we just get just a small window of time where Bitcoin doesn't dump so ETH can hit 5,000? That's all I'm asking for. Binance Coin, pretty resilient, holding $600. Solana actually up for the week. What is the Solana all-time high? 245?
I think so. Close to 250, I think.
Let's see. 258? Yeah, 258. So how about that? So, Juggy, you know you can't give up that insurance. You know you love it. Okay, Cardano at $1.60, still up for the week. XRP down to 94 cents. Unbelievable where that price is at.
Yeah.
And we actually made some decisions. on some new coins that we bought in the last 24 hours. We have now increased our Mana holdings. You know, we actually realized we didn't own like any sandbox. We had like $3,000 worth of sandbox
of the token. We
of the token. We have a ton of sandbox land.
Yeah.
We're big on sandbox, but actually the token didn't have. We were so focused on the land, and so we bought $100,000 worth of sandbox yesterday, $100,000 worth of Terra, and $100,000 worth of Axie Infinity. So, you know, Terra and Axie Infinity were two that we said we just kind of missed on. We were going to wait for the bear market, but you know, I just figured, you know what, we might as well have a little bit of skin in the game with those coins. So,
well, especially with December shaping up to be a crazy alt season, it seems to be the common consensus. Everybody thinks alts are going to absolutely rip in December. So getting more exposure to the alts that are hot in attention right now is part of the plan there too.
Yeah. Somebody said 3K is nothing to Ben. LMAO. It's not now. You're right. But there was a 95% of my life where it was a huge amount of money. So I know sometimes we throw numbers out. I know it sounds crazy, but keep in mind, we got a big organization here. This is not just me and all my money.
Well,
so we have $400,000 worth of expenses every single month.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, at least minimum. And we usually spend way more than that.
And it ramps up. Like I used to tell people, like at first when I was very first getting involved, that I have to have about $1,000 in a project to feel like, okay, I have a vested interest here. I'm going to pay attention to this. And then slowly that got to be where it's like, okay, I need at least $10,000 in it to feel invested. And now it's like 100.
Now it's 100. You're right. That's exactly kind of how it's been for us here at Bit Boy Crypto. All-time high for Cosmos, by the way, $44. It is up to 32 right now. It is your biggest pumper of the day, up 25%. Polygon also doing really well. We told you it could be the time of Polygon soon. Oasis Network, don't know much about that one. Near Protocol, which somebody was telling me about at the conference. Terra doing well, Theta doing well, stuff like that. Can you go up a little bit on the? We should have got some Gala games too. Keep going up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Oh, right there. I want to say XRP validator. It makes sense for us to look into that.
Sure.
Can we make a note? Talk to Jack after. I don't know what that would consist of, but I would like to run a validator node for XRP. That way we can have the bank inside of our office. We don't have to go anywhere. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. But I sure do hate going to the bank. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on to Q&A here.
All right. Yeah, let's hop to it. First one is, are you concerned crypto will follow the economy to zero? I see two trains on the same track head on, crypto versus economy.
You know, that's a really interesting question, but I think I would have to start with, what does that mean, the economy going to zero?
Yeah.
Like that's a fanciful hypothetical situation.
I would imagine he means like if we see major deflation, recession, you know, a lot of the stuff we're talking about, and assets get crushed, will crypto get crushed as well?
Yeah. The collar's fine. The shirt's just a little odd. Oh, wait, somebody said I need to fix the collar. Yeah, the economy is going to get crushed in a lot of ways, but not everybody's going to get crushed. You guys know who gets crushed when the economy crashes?
The lower and middle class.
The people. Yeah. You know, the people get crushed. So why are people continuing to talk about LJ so much?
I don't know. Because we were talking about local areas. Somebody said they're from Woodstock. Somebody said they're from LJ, and that's all I really saw.
LJ is probably not driving distance every day.
That's a bit far.
Yeah, it's a bit far, but you know, you could move here. LJ, I like LJ. It's a very beautiful place.
Yeah.
So the thing is about this question, you have to start there. What is that really and truly? Look at that. A nice beard cut today. You guys like that? It's because I'm shooting Clerks 3 next week, so had to get the trim. So the thing is that the economy is not going to zero. We're not going to hyperinflation. We're going to deflation. So people are going to get hurt. Businesses are going to get hurt in the short term first. They're going to cut jobs even more so than now. And that is going to flow down to where the people at the bottom and in the middle are getting hurt. Crypto is going to get hurt by that also. You know, people have this idea that crypto is this. I don't know why. I can't figure this out. Why do people believe that crypto is a great hedge against the rest of the economy? What it is in a bull market.
Yeah.
In a bear market, it's not.
It's a hedge against inflation and money printing. But when assets are getting hit, so is crypto, basically, across the board.
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw that with the pandemic. Yes. Woo. Wow. How about that? Yes, Bitcoin recovered much better than the rest of the market, but it was in the perfect timing. It was right before the halving event. If this had happened in a bear market, Bitcoin would have been crushed. Bitcoin could have gone down to $1,000.
Yeah.
It could have gone from $6,000 down to $1,000 if this had happened in 2019 and not 2020. So Bitcoin is not a great hedge against the economy, especially in times of deflation. Over time, you come out ahead, but in the short term, definitely not.
Yeah.
When everything falls, Bitcoin falls too. We're seeing it today.
And that's why when everything falls, the safest place to be is in cash temporarily, and then you move back into other assets when things have been hit. All right, next question, a little bit of a beginner question. He said he knew that roadblock from the basement. Why are there gas fees?
Well, if you think about a decentralized network, right? Where is the motivation for nodes to send transactions?
Right.
Okay. In a centralized network, it makes sense because, like Visa, for instance, they're in charge. They get all the transaction fees. They have the motivation to push all the transactions through and to make sure that they occur. In a decentralized network, you kind of have to have individual nodes on the network that are willing to say, hey, you know what? I see that transaction. Let me go ahead and push that through. That takes bandwidth and that takes power. So for them to do that, there has to be a reward. Gas fees are the reward for people pushing transactions. We see that with Bitcoin and Bitcoin fees. They're not called gas fees with Bitcoin, or are they called just transaction fees?
Transaction fees.
Yeah, just transaction fees on Bitcoin, gas fees on Ethereum. So you have to motivate people financially. That's why they do it. Now, when it switches to proof of stake, it becomes a little bit different, but it's still the same concept.
Yep.
So gas fees are what helps keep the network going and transactions getting pushed through, and the people doing those transactions or pushing those through are getting paid.
Okay, last question. In your opinion, what are some of the top crypto projects that could still make you a millionaire? Like some of your best picks for this alt season?
Great question. Can you also bring up that dude says cash? Meanwhile, they've been preaching 100K. I want to address that next. It's on YouTube. Lower, right there, middle. Yep. Okay, so looking here, you can pull up CoinMarketCap here. I still think Avalanche. Obviously XRP. Is going to be the most explosive one. Cardano is going to be explosive as well, but it's already almost twice the price of XRP. So yeah. I believe XRP. I believe they're going to end at the same price point about, and so that means XRP has the higher potential.
And I would say probably this year, I would think Solana and Ethereum have probably created some of the the most new millionaires in 2020.
So what I've been told is Solana and Ethereum will follow each other for the rest of the cycle. So don't look for Solana to outperform Ethereum for the remainder of the cycle. It's already had its best run. So that's what I've been told to watch for. However, Avalanche, definitely one to watch. I do believe Avalanche is having a breather right now, and that's good. These are good entry points into Avalanche. This one, I think, is the next Solana. It will end up probably probably get into the top 6 or 7 at some point. Looking down a little bit lower here. VeChain's still at 11 cents. I think the high for that is very, very high. FTT. I think FTT is one to watch. I told you guys last week this was a huge one. It's only down 1% while the rest of the market has gotten pretty much crushed with a few outliers. So it's about even right now. FTT is definitely one. And then Thorchain is another one that I definitely believe has a lot of potential on the upside. Where is Thorchain right now? Thorchain. It's 64. It's down 14% right now. So as they get closer to launching their mainnet, I look for this one to rise as well. There's some other good ones here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get real far down the list to find some that have really high potential, like Cartesi, we think is one.
Yeah.
We're an advisor for. We love them.
That's what I was going to say. Another tactic you can take, like we know if you go to the top of CoinMarketCap and look at the categories, we know obviously metaverse is where a lot of people are focused right now, could have the biggest pump. You go there, the top ones, sure. We all talk about these all the time. You scroll down a little bit and you get a little deeper into those picks. Start researching some of those projects, and there could be some big winners in there.
They've made it so easy for you now.
They really have.
They made it so easy for y'all. We used to have to dig around for this stuff. We didn't have rankings.
Or categories. We had to dig through the entire
thing.
To 600 projects and figure out, which one's a metaverse project, which one's a finance project.
Binance has really made CoinMarketCap 100 times better.
Yeah.
And I always said that, like, it's not great for decentralization for the biggest exchange to own the biggest coin research site. But I also always told you back then, I did several critique videos. CoinMarketCap was terrible, and the people behind it sucked. So very good. So last thing I want to address in the Q&A, somebody says, dude says cash. Meanwhile, they've been preaching 100K. This is the difference between me and every other YouTuber out there. The difference between me and every other YouTuber out there, pretty much, is they're telling you that inflation will continue to go out of control and you're always better off in crypto. I'm the only person telling you about deflation and that it's coming next year. Once we hit 100K, you get out of crypto, you get ready to accumulate through stable coins, because when you cash out of stable coins, your actual value is going to increase because the value of the dollar is going to increase next year. Okay. Probably should have already started here in the fall. Hasn't started yet. This will be coming very, very, very soon. And so, yes, those are not two mutually exclusive things.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. We're also not saying cash. We're saying get ready to cash. Like, here's the plan. Get ready to execute.
Next year.
When it happens, it's going to happen quick. So, big difference.
We got 97 viewers, or 9,700 viewers. Yeah. We have 1,617 likes. You guys could do us a favor. Hit that like button. It's the number one thing you can do as a member of the BitSquad to help out the channel and help out your peers so more people can see this video. If you're watching on mobile, make sure to exit out of the live chat, hit the like button, come back. If you're watching on a smart TV, hit the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, hit more actions, more options, and then hit the like button. Or, hit the like button. Somebody says, how certain am I? 100%. So that's how certain I am, 100%. But we are moving to deflation. It's a big conversation that actually makes a lot of sense if you can get past the crypto talking point of Bitcoin is better than cash. Right now, Bitcoin is better than cash because we are in inflation. So nobody else is giving you this message. So we'll see what happens next year. No, we're not drinking the 4 ounces of water right now. We're going to start that back when I get back from trips next week. Okay, so here's what I want to show you guys for Market Cipher and Bitcoin. So here's what we got last night. I showed this on our crypto wrap-up video last night. That we had this red dot that popped up. I told you last night, if you watch the video, this is why you need to watch the nightly video. I told you guys, if you are in a long position, you should take profits or you should at least have stop losses. As we did see the price fall last night, this red dot popped up and it played out. As we have now gone all the way down to 54,600, excuse me, and $5. We talked about why earlier in the day. We talked about this or earlier in the show, but I mean, it is still close to making another new low. We definitely don't want to make a lower low. We'd like to get a higher low from right here. That's definitely what we want to see, and I think we will see that. But this morning when I woke up, you ever woke up?
I done woke up once.
Yeah, this morning when I woke up, okay. What happened is I looked at the chart and guess what was not there? The red dot. It had disappeared overnight. But then again, we had the opening of the traditional markets. We had the reaction to the jobs report, and we had the price get pressed down, absolutely huge this morning. So a really big drop. Let's see what the drop was from the open to right now. It is about a 3% drop so far. So definitely not something we want to see. Somebody said there's a CME gap at 54.4. Is that correct? Let me look. Let's see. It's this one, I think. Yeah.
It'd be kind of nice, actually.
54.4. Is there? No, there's no gap. I don't know why they said there's a gap. I don't see a gap. Do you?
No. Unless it's a...
The wicks don't count on the gaps.
Yeah.
The wicks don't count. All that matters is... Yeah, let's see. So where is 54.4? 54.4. Yeah, I definitely do not see a gap. That got filled the other day if there was one. So, yeah, not sure what exactly he's talking about there. So, but we do have, we have filled a lot of gaps here, the CME gaps. We'll talk about those on a different day, not get too much into that. Here we are. We have the Nupal pulled up here, or no, this is actually the stock to flow deflection as we were making a great progress. I have told you guys, we will not see this again. We will not see the stock to flow deflection, I believe, ever peek into the red again.
Yeah, because
ever, for all times.
Yeah, stock to flow is starting to, looks like it might be invalidated here.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of interesting, kind of pulls us back to the discussion of taking on new information and adjusting your
You have to.
plan based on
Yeah.
the information. Because up until this year, the stock to flow has been historically one of the most
I
accurate.
thought it was going to hit for sure.
Yeah, one of the most
Yeah.
accurate Bitcoin prediction models that's ever existed. So there is cause for, okay, this year's a little bit different than things we've seen in the past, but we still don't know what's going to happen until we get more information. So that's where you can't just lock into a plan and believe it forever. You have to adjust as new information comes in,
Yeah.
which is looks like what's happening right now.
Somebody said there's, let's see here. Let me make sure I got all these turned on.
What do you think about that? Crob asked if are futures killing BTC's performance? You know, like-
No, not really. Their futures. No. I mean, there's always an institutional futures angle into Bitcoin, but that's not hurting it right now. I mean, we've had these
Manipulating-
available all year.
manipulating a little is different than killing.
Yeah. Somebody said on the 12-hour there is a gap that doesn't count. It's a day that a 12-hour gap doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Only the 24-hour daily chart, because it has a specific open and a specific close, and it's closed on the weekends. That's where we find the gaps.
Yeah.
So the 12-hour doesn't matter if there's a gap there. And also somebody else said there's a blood diamond. There's not a blood diamond on the daily on Market Cipher. I don't know why they would say that. There's absolutely not. There is a red diamond, but that is not a blood diamond. So that is not indicative of a huge drop. So, okay, let's move on here. We do have a couple mentions here, a couple sponsored mentions here. XCAD, this is a project that we invested in a long time ago. It's the number one, or it is the watch to earn revolution. It's a global platform harnessing the power and value of content creator audiences via creator tokenization, allowing viewers to earn rewards and govern creators' decisions via a plugin which works directly on YouTube. So it's a way that content creators can basically create income on YouTube outside of the regular avenues.
Well, and their users too, it sounds like. For
And
watching.
the users as well.
So if you think about like the bits on Twitch, it's kind of like that, but you get more voting and sounds like input into the content that's being made. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But you look at the names involved in this, absolutely huge. Mr. Beast, KSI, Ollie A, Lance Stewart, Nico Omilana, and W2S, all of which have more subscribers than I do. So very upset about that.
Subscribe, please.
What's that?
Said subscribe, please.
Yeah, so hit subscribe, guys. Let's get us up higher than
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I want to know this. I want to know from the audience. This is something we've kind of been kicking around here on our chats here at BitBoy Crypto. What do you guys think about us doing Mr. Beast type videos for crypto? Right? Where we give away a certain amount of crypto if you do a certain thing. Like he does the videos that's like, everything you can fit in this box or in this square, I'll pay for. They go to Best Buy and do it. Maybe we do it with a crypto.com card or something like that. Are you guys interested in that type of content? Want to know, because that is something that we're considering doing some stuff, because we like giving stuff away. We like doing fun stuff.
Well, and it's fun. That's what I was about
It's
to say.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun content. Definitely will be more fun in the bear market than news.
Well, the
So
first three said no.
yeah, first three said no. Then we got a couple yeses. So
Interesting.
yeah, it certainly would not be our overall channel. It would just be some videos we do on the channel, or maybe we do a separate channel for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's hit network stuff or
Yeah.
something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of no's.
A lot of no's, but it seems to be about 40-60 right now. So yeah, I think there's enough yeses maybe to justify it. We'll see what happens. Maybe we could just try one and see how people like it.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so they got a roadmap coming out. So good stuff from XCAD. So check it out. It's xcadnetwork.com. Then also Chrysivia. Is that how you say that? Chrysivia?
Sounds right.
Sounds about right. This is a game, guys. We're going to be doing more stuff with gaming here pretty soon. This is a game, another sponsored segment here before we get on to the main stories, showing you all the different articles that have talked about this game. Here is one of those articles from Cointellally. Chrysivia offers blockchain gaming with an NFT-powered twist incubated on Unicrypt. A few years ago, the first blockchain games launched. Those games had serious limitations. So the idea is with Chrysivia, it's a new blockchain-based MMORPG The aim is to succeed where so many others have faltered, in part by giving players real ownership of their in-game assets, and when it's ready to launch, it's going to change the face of blockchain gaming forever. So it's an immersive game, MMORPG. You guys know I love those games. Talk about how much I love them so much all the time that I don't even know if I ever have the right acronym. But they also have the KXA and KXS tokens. You guys can check more out about this. It is Chrysivia.io. That's KRYXIVIA.io. So thank you to those two companies for sponsoring those segments. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Victory is for the taking on Friday's $950 million Bitcoin options expiry. That's today, right?
That is today.
Yeah. Somebody said we should do a crypto Jeopardy type thing with person with most knowledge wins. We are going to do that at some point when we move in the new studio. We have big plans for a game show.
Yep.
So big fun stuff. I would have thought we were doing already. We might be moved in the new studio by January.
Yep.
Possibly?
Possibly.
It is possible. Some of our workers are moving over there now. So Bitcoin price is down this week. Naturally, we'll always find some reversal signs. TA is not an exact science. That's probably what people hate about it, is it's not exact. But if it was exact, everybody would be making too much money. Furthermore, regulatory concerns from the United States come and pressure the market. The U.S. Banking Committee chair sought information about stablecoin issuers and exchanges. In November, Brandon's working group on financial markets released a report on stablecoin issuers. No surprise there. But looking at the futures here, at first sight, the $460 million call options are evenly matched with the $485 million put instruments. But the 0.96 call to put ratio is deceptive because the 17 price drop from 69K will likely wipe out most of the bullish bets. But look how many bets are down here around $100,000 for the month, for next month. Listed below are the four most likely scenarios for the million December 3rd options expiry, which is today. Let's see. If it's between 54 and 56, the net result is 175 million favoring the put options. If it's between 56 and 58K, the net result is 80 million favoring the bears. If it's between 50 and 60, it's 30 million favoring the bulls. And if it's above 60, it's 115 favoring the bulls. Right now, looking at the price of Bitcoin, we are right. It's not a coincidence, guys. We are right in the middle of that range. We are right here at $55,000, exactly between $54,000 and $56,000. The worst possible scenario financially for the bulls. However, what this can do is this can remove some pressure from Bitcoin as they get their, when the market's closed today, the bears get what they're looking for, and it really sets us up for next week. I'm shocked that the last 2 weeks have not been green candles. I've been really shocked by this. You look at the weekly here for Bitcoin, and it really is like crazy to look at because it's certainly not what we thought was going to happen. It looks like we could kind of be facing the scenario, we were in over the summer where the price dropped and then it started to go back up and then it dropped again before we finally got this move. So here it drops. Maybe we get a big move up. I think we will see it. Hopefully after this week. We also have another story here, which is monster-sized Bitcoin whale transfers. A blockchain parser catches a significant amount of cold BTC, move to active exchanges. 2 days ago, the price of Bitcoin tapped a high of 59.2, since dropped 5% to just about 56K. Now it's at 55. On-chain statistics indicate that whales and long-term holders have been spending over the last month, and blockchain parsers have witnessed enormous movements in the past few days. Let's see, some major on-chain action, a movement of $849 million. Then we had one of 36,000 Bitcoin. It shows that long-term holders are spending Bitcoin holdings and key active whale addresses are content. So this is not a super safe story here, right? If we've got whales that are moving stuff to exchanges. However, this could also be for preparation of the price shooting up in a quick amount of time.
Right.
Because if that happens, they've got to be there to sell. They probably won't have time to transfer because I'm telling you guys, this thing is going to go above 100K and back to 70 in no time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is if we've looked at a lot recently, how right at the end when there's that big pump, it's the whales and the smart money that's selling as the price is going up. They sell into that final pump, so that could be like what you said there. They're prepping those funds for when this big pump comes to sell right into that, and that's traditionally what we see. The whales tend to sell the top,
Yeah.
and retail buys it.
Somebody says that futures have already closed. What time do they close? Because
That-
I thought they closed like when the CME closes at 4.
4. That's what I thought.
I think so. But somebody else, I think it was Mr. X had mentioned that they close early in the morning, but that doesn't really make sense to me. Does somebody have that information?
No, I'm looking.
Let's see. I'll ask right now. What time does the futures?
Well, the CME futures is what you're talking about, right?
No, it's not the CME.
Which one? Durbit? I mean,
There's a ton of them.
that's what I'm saying. So all of them close at the same time?
I don't know. Close on Fridays. So I guess swore it was at 4
I
or
thought
4:30.
I thought it was like 4:15 or
So
something.
it's a weird time.
Yeah.
It's a real weird time. So I had to find out if that's true because somebody was saying it was closed. So somebody says 5:30 a.m. I think that's what he told me at some point. So we don't do trading on the futures market. So when you're not doing the trading, it doesn't hit the same.
4
you
p.m.
do.
London time?
That might make sense.
The Bitcoin futures
Yeah,
contract trades.
because like the gold price is based on the London market.
So here,
Could be
that's basically the answer.
5 p.m. to 4 p.m. Well, that's the CME.
No, yeah, that's when it trades, aggregates the trade flow of major Bitcoin spot exchanges during a 1-hour calculation into the US dollar price of 1 Bitcoin as of 4 p.m. London time. Is when, so I don't know, what is 4 p.m. London time?
That's like 12 o'clock here, I think. London to EST.
11 a.m.
Okay, I thought it was 12, 11. Okay, so it's 5. Well, it's because of daylight savings. I think what daylight savings is, I think it's 12. I think it's 4 to 5 hours, I think, overall. So
That is, yeah.
interesting.
Hmm.
Wow, sometimes we learn on the channel.
There you go.
Me and TJ do. So the London price fix with the gold, that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Peter Schiff don't ever want to talk about that stuff. Okay,
Now
so
they're fighting in the chat if UTC is London time. That's funny.
is UTC London time?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Greenwich, well, I don't
Greenwich.
know. GMT, that's Greenwich.
Time is confusing.
There's a lot of time zones. I know it's based on. Let's find out.
Well, what's really crazy is our daylight savings times messes up so much across the world.
Yeah.
Because we have people we have interviews with, and they'll show up like an hour early or an hour late, depending on whether it's daylight savings time or not.
Well, now.
Because we're the only country, I think, that changes times.
This time that we just did it was the last time we're going to do it. Georgia. It's done.
That got voted through? Because it
Yeah.
got struck down last year when they voted.
No, it got voted through last time that this would be the last one, according to what my Uber driver told me.
No, I think your Uber driver's wrong. It got voted down.
Because I thought it. Well, do you want to check?
Yeah. You know what really sucks about that? Georgia daylight savings
Future. or
time
something.
vote. Oh, this is great. So yeah, you're right. This was March 31st. They voted 45-6 to put us on daylight savings time permanently.
Right. So it won't ever.
But daylight savings time is the springtime. This is the real time right now. Daylight savings time is the fake time. So I would like that because I wanted to have longer daylight.
Yeah.
So this means we wouldn't change. We change one more time, then we never change again.
Huh.
If I remember correctly. This is a much more interesting conversation than crypto.
What I was told is
you can't change this time too.
The
Wow,
last time
interesting.
we changed is we'll never change again. That we're on the time we're going to be on now.
Well, then that's a nightmare because that's early dark all year long.
No, it changes throughout the year, like with the sun rotation and all
Somewhat,
that's
but
the
you're
whole-
looking at it getting dark at 7:30 in the summer, 7:30 to 8 instead of 8:30 to 9:30 in some cases. But that means that the winter time's really depressing because it gets dark so early, and then you change it and it's darker even earlier. So let's see here. It says to put us on daylight savings time permanently. Daylight savings time is the summertime, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what they change it every year, so I never know which one was.
Somebody
the
says
original.
nightlight savings time was approved. I don't know what this is.
Okay.
All right, let's look into this after the show.
I was gonna say, let's get back.
Let's get back to here.
All right.
Okay.
ETH to flip Bitcoin.
ETH about to go parabolic against Bitcoin as analysts weigh Bitcoin bear case. Somebody says I'm right. I like it. ETH BTC stays near its highest since 2018, but that's nothing compared to its next move. One trader believes. And don't you think it's funny they always put them on these Tron cycles?
Yeah, it is funny.
Justin Sun wanted to come on the channel. I said no.
No way.
I told him no. I said no.
I always wonder sometimes if it's like the artist is doing this stuff intentionally just to kind of subtly throw shade at Tron, like you're irrelevant now other than my drawings.
Yeah. Ethereum's token is due to launch a parabolic attack on Bitcoin to be all-time highs. Data from Cointelli Markets Pro shows it sitting near three-year highs. Who is this person? Popular Twitter account Galaxy reinforced optimistic predictions for the largest altcoin. It's about to eclipse its already strong performance with a vertical move. I've been waiting and publicly charting ETH Bitcoin on the big picture for years, and now we're finally here. ETH's starting to go into parabolic mode. Just wait and see how crazy things are about to get. In US dollar terms, picture is similarly promising. Theory should be the part where if the strength continues, we see a strong run based on structure. Well, not everything points to the 5,000 level falling. ETH USD trade around 4,500. We know that's old news here. Bear case. Let's see. This is about Bitcoin here. Let's see if there's anything interesting here from Will Clemente. Is he a Bitcoin maximalist?
I don't know. I know his name and account. I'm not sure if he's a maxi or maximalish.
B equals CUP says that I'm correct on daylight savings time, which of course that makes sense. I really thought that it was, man, I want to go back to this.
Were you going to get your gains in with the water bottle? Is that what was going on?
I was doing a little pump here.
Yeah.
I had to skip leg day because I've had a pulled groin. Skip leg day 2 weeks in a row.
Happens.
Harsh. Okay, so here's what I want to say about Ethereum. Okay. What I want to say about Ethereum is this. If what we're seeing is true, okay, if we are seeing Ethereum go parabolic against Bitcoin, this is setting up for a flipping this cycle. It is, if what we're seeing is true, if the Ethereum value versus Bitcoin, that pair, which you can find that pair by going to TradingView and looking at ETH/BTC, okay, if this is true, then we are probably about to see a flipping. Let me get Market Cipher B up here and look and see what it's showing here on the daily chart for this. Why are there two? So it actually just got a red dot here on the daily. So it could start to fall a little bit, but we also got one just about a week ago and it recovered quite nicely. Same thing over here. So in general, we tend to see one and then it goes up pretty solid after that. So if this does happen, if we do see Ethereum make gigantic gains against Bitcoin in the short term, in the next month, it is setting up for Ethereum to pass Bitcoin in market cap by the end of this cycle. And if it doesn't, it's going to be very close. I've said that the entire year. I've told you that. And it looks like it could be coming to pass. So very interesting stuff here. Academic research claims ETH is superior. The report highlights merits of EIP 1559 to make it deflationary, yada, yada, yada. Annualizing the rate of Ethereum creation since EIP 1559, the expected increase is only less than 1% when it was going to be 2%. We know that's good stuff. Michael Saylor favors Bitcoin. We know that. He was on Tucker Carlson this week. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I heard about it. It was enough.
Yeah.
Somebody
says a flippening. Can we just get the bull run back on track? Yeah. Well, that's part of getting it on track. That's what we saw last time. Was Ethereum shoot up in value against Bitcoin? That's what surged the altcoin season. You want the altcoin season too, right? You don't just want Bitcoin to go to 100K. You want to see the alts do their thing as well. So, yeah, I do think the desk was moved for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm much closer today.
Yep.
I think that's why the lighting is off. Because you look there, the lighting seems fine. We go in the full here. I'm really still washed out.
Yeah. But then you're too yellow if
I know.
Yeah. It's all right. We're moving
amazing
soon.
how you can change my skin color like that.
We already covered the lights in the basement, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Why Coinbase testimony in Congress matters for XRP and SEC first verbal lawsuit. According to Coinbase, which, by the way, just so everybody knows, we got several big things coming up. Somebody sent me a message on the time bill. Says Brian Kemp signed a bill to approve permanent daylight savings time, but required U.S. Congress pass an act allowing states to move to daylight savings time. Congress didn't do that, so we're stuck doing the same thing. That makes sense. I did hear that. States have the power. This is true. States have the power to change it to regular time and get rid of daylight savings time. The federal government has to allow the states to change to permanent daylight savings time. There you go. We're still changing times here in Georgia.
Lame.
Yeah. Well, it's much better than switching to all night all year. I don't want that. So I'll wait until they do that to get the right time. So here's the thing. We got several things coming up. I've got an interview with CoinDesk today at 1:30 I'll be doing, which they'll be putting out. I've got I'm on Bloomberg Radio, on XM Radio today at 3:15. So you guys make sure to tune into that. But another thing I'm really excited about is a documentary that we're going to be filming, that someone's coming to film about the SEC XRP lawsuit. So they're going to come out here in 2 weeks. They're going to film my opinion. They're going to ask, what I know about what's happening and things like that. I also got a text from John Deaton regarding this a couple days ago, some stuff we may talk about on the channel here pretty soon. There's big things happening right now. We're going to be able to push out, as the commander of the XRP Army, Supreme Leader, we are going to push out this message. Hold on to the faith. Hold on to the hope. It is coming. Should be this year. Still believe it's going to be this year. Could be January. We'll see what happens. When this case is over, and it will be soon, XRP is going to absolutely crush everything. It's going to be a year's worth of suppression gone overnight when this is over. So I did want to tell you, we do have that big interview for that documentary that's coming out soon. But according to Coinbase's counsel, XRP has the highest rating among 28 cryptos, meaning it's the closest you can get to a security, 4 out of 5. As it has been reported, 8 major crypto firms in the U.S. will be represented on December 8th. We discussed this yesterday. And I also want to know, where's my XRP army? You guys put that in the chat. The hearing was set up as part of congressional efforts to establish a regulatory framework for digital assets, as the ecosystem shows no sign of growing its growth or of stopping its growth, size, or significance. The committee will focus on the challenges and benefits of financial innovation. We've already talked about who will be there: Brian Brooks, Jeremy Allaire, Sam Bankman-Fried. The testimony will likely be critical what lawmakers think of digital assets, their nature, and how to properly regulate the asset class, and the firms within the space hurting innovation. There they are. You guys, if you're in the XRP army, you've got to like these videos. Every single time we talk about XRP, I want you guys to hit that like button. The goal of the council was to create a system that rates cryptos on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 indicating that a crypto is most likely a security and 5 meaning it is likely not a security. Why did this say? But up here, this is interesting, right? It says it's had the highest rating, meaning it's the closest you can get to a security, 4 out of 5.
Wouldn't that be 5 out of 5 would be the closest you could get?
Well, no, nothing is a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
But down here it says that they rank them a 5, meaning it's likely not a security. Let's go to the rankings. Let's look at them. You can actually look at these Coinbase security rankings. Let's actually get because we're getting conflicting information on that article. I want to give you the right information. Okay, let's see here. Coinbase review, is Coinbase safe? Where can we see this at? This is the blog. Helpful guidance, council members, the asset ratings. A score of 1 means it suggests it's okay. Here it is. A score of 1 means the council's independent analysis suggests the asset has few or no characteristics.
Yeah, they just had it backwards.
They had it backwards. Okay, yeah. So it did rank a 4 out of 5, meaning it is actually very close to a security, according to Coinbase's rankings there. So I wish I could find the actual. You can find the actual. Here it is, asset ratings. Here it is. Okay. Usually Algorand's a 2. Augur is a 3.75. We looked at this before. Cosmos is actually at 3.75. Decentraland at 3.75. Come all the way down to the bottom. You can find XRP here, a 4 out of 5. So I think it's the only one with a 4. You've got a lot of 3.75s, meaning they're very close to being considered. And I think this is really big because when this is not considered, a security, even though there will not technically be precedent, that will release a lot of projects from feeling pressure at all.
Yep.
And that's why we will see the whole market move when this does occur. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very interesting stuff here. Where is it? Yeah, so Coinbase, they rate XRP. Can Coinbase make or break XRP? This is a really stupid idea that Coinbase's ratings that have been around for 3 years now are going to they're going to have an effect on the lawsuit. It doesn't. That's you know what that is? Look, Coinbase, XRP, or Coinbase and Ripple, who has major holdings in both digital currency group. Okay, remember they're in both of these major. This whole case from the very beginning has been smoke and mirrors. I've told you that over and over and over again. It makes sense Coinbase would rate them 4 out of 5. That helped with the FUD to get the price pushed down to continue to accumulate until it's time to bust it open. Chile's Bitcoin bill and the digital peso. What you need to know. I mean, I prefer the baby back ribs myself. Which, you guys know the Fancy Like song would have been a lot better. Would have been a lot better if they would have used Chili's than Applebee's. I mean, do people like Applebee's? You like Applebee's?
Yeah.
You like Chili's though, right?
Yeah.
Chili's is good.
All right.
It's better than Applebee's. Sorry, Applebee's. Shade thrown.
Yeah, I mean, there's similar-ish type chains, but if you're going to pick one.
Yeah.
Only reason I like Applebee's is around here, a lot of them used to be called TJ Applebee's. So the ones that...
I forgot all about that.
The ones that were TJ Applebee's, I'm still a fan of. But they're not. They took the TJ off. Yeah. And they've gone downhill ever since.
They have. I mean, when you lose a TJ.
Yeah, there's no coming back.
Yeah. Once you go TJ. Lawmakers in Chile are currently working towards recognizing Bitcoin. I have a good one for that. I'm going to leave alone.
Yeah.
As a legal means of payment, while others are pushing for the development of a CBDC. Chile may be the next Latin American country to embrace Bitcoin and other cryptos in one form or another. Lawmakers in the country are currently working towards legislation that would legalize the use of Bitcoin as a means of payment, and the Chilean government is already warming up to the idea of developing its own CBDC. In early November. Now, here we go again. I've talked to you guys a lot about countries that matter and countries that don't matter. Chile does not really matter when it comes to the financial cartel. So if they want to create their own CBDC, financial cartel would probably be okay with that. It is not a top financial country. It's probably somewhere in the middle, to be honest with you. Probably a little higher than the middle, but it's definitely not, like a G20 country or anything like that. In early November, Congressman Kareem Bianchi introduced a proposal that seeks to recognize and regulate the use of Bitcoin and other cryptos as legal means of payment in the country. If passed, the law could provide the legal basis for further regulatory development, such as banks offering crypto custody services. Let's see. They put their initiative to their legislative body. Chile doesn't need Bitcoin, they say. The country's political and financial conditions, however, are very different from other countries that have turned to cryptos. Basically, they're not in as much financial instability as like Argentina or Venezuela or Ecuador. I think, also teetering on it. Brazil could be in the future. They're kind of in a bad spot, but, they're not to the point of financial ruin yet. So Chile's is not there. Their government, though, is also considering its own CBDC called the Chilean Peso. So very interesting. It's already underway. It's likely the country's CBDC initiative will have more political support in the country than the proposal to regulate Bitcoin. This brings me up to a very... I definitely didn't just go get some wings from Applebee's. That's pretty funny. Here's the question for you, TJ.
Okay.
We can talk about Chile getting a CBDC. That's, fun thing to talk about, I guess. When does the digital dollar come? How soon are we? I have a number, I think.
Well, I mean, that I think is a little bit of a loaded question because a lot of people say, oh, the dollar's digital, they're mostly digital.
CBDC.
Yeah, a United States CBDC. I mean, I've always said I think it's going to be USDC, which if that's the case, you could argue it already exists. But when they make that big move, well, I think they need to do a lot of regulation on the stable coins first. I don't know how long that's going to take. So maybe
6 months is is
Do you
the
think-
number on that.
You think that gets done? So I was going to say 2 to 3 years was my
That's
number.
my number's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. 2 years. I think it's coming. At least announced and ready to put out there. A lot of these other ones in other countries will be slower. The countries that matter, they'll be slower. We have the digital yuan. We'll have the digital dollar. The goal is to make, just tell you what the goal is. The goal is to make the digital dollar the new reserve currency.
Yep.
That is the goal. Make the digital dollar the new reserve currency. Then it may be Bitcoin after that, in some odd years. There will be a one world currency that will be coming. I don't know how, maybe 15 to 20 years. The digital dollar will get us from the dollar to the one world currency, which will be here pretty soon. So I think it's going to be very, very close to 2 years. I believe stablecoin regulation is done in 6 months. Why? Because of that special treasury bond where you can get 7% returns on it. It's a 6-month program. So they're trying to make that compete with the stablecoin staking. I believe in 6 months, regulation will come in and push that away, and then they'll go back to giving you 1%. So pretty fun.
Enjoy that 1%.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you got it. Facebook's metaverse play is a battle for future of the internet. I believe this 100%.
Yeah.
This is from the Axie Infinity co-founder. Is this Axie or Infinity? I'm not sure. Centralized firms like Facebook are trying to buy the soul of the internet.
I think he just goes by Axe.
By Axe? Yeah. Is it Bobby Axelrod?
Could be.
Could be. Axie Infinity co-founder Jeff Zerlin, there you go, goes by Z, spoke about Facebook's metaverse play at NFT at Basel in Miami. Social media giant has big plans for the metaverse, but many crypto advocates are pushing back against centralized influence. He said, I think we're entering a battle for the future of the internet, but I think that we have a lot of trends on our side. We're starting to see grassroots internet communities are having incredible power in the physical world as well. The stakes are going to get larger and larger, and we're going to face more powerful enemies. They're going to try to squash this beautiful thing that we have built because it threatens them. It threatens their business model, their way of life, and their philosophy. We're going to see this battle between grassroots internet communities and the large corporations that are trying to basically buy the soul of the internet. Now, one thing I talked about while we had such a great conversation on metaverse, really both panels that I was on.
Yeah.
But the first one, it hit a little different because I feel like there was so much depth because we were really getting into what the future looks like. And, the thing that really struck me here is I believe that while Facebook's involvement in metaverse, it will be successful simply because they have so many users.
Yep.
I also believe that Facebook has heavily underestimated the hatred for Facebook. People hate Facebook. They can't stand what it stands for. And what's interesting is, I'll tell you what I think to be, Facebook's biggest mistake that they've made tactically is what they have done with their algorithms and news.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what they've done is they have pushed America into two polar opposite directions to where one group hates the other group 100%. Why? Now think about this. In the history of America, we've always had two basic sides that disagree on things. Okay. But they push them so far by feeding them headlines over and over and over again that put them in one direction. Okay. This has led to a lot of those people being angry at Facebook because they feel like that Facebook is either super liberal or super conservative, depending on which side you're on. Okay. Because they've actually done testing. People are more likely to click on an article that disagrees with them than one that agrees with them.
Yep.
And so what you've got is you have all these conservative people that are seeing these extremely liberal headlines and they're clicking on them. They'll click on the same exact article that the extremely liberal people see that has a conservative headline. It's the same information in the article, but those headlines adjust their bias to what they're reading. Those people that are being taken advantage of in that way, they're Facebook's number one demographic. So they've already ostracized young people from using Facebook. They've already ostracized people my age from using Facebook. It's really only the generation above me, the Generation X, which is the target demographic, and they've also pissed them off. Everyone hates Facebook except for the grandma that has no idea that all of this controversy exists.
Right.
That's it. Facebook posts where people fight, they go directly to the top.
They make posts where people are fighting. They push negative, controversy to the top of the feed, so then more people jump in and fight and argue. Just crazy.
Yeah. Well, somebody says nothing about Facebook is super conservative. If you're on a certain side of Facebook and they're showing you things to get you riled up and to get you to click stuff, they are showing conservative headlines to people that will react negatively to that. So you are probably conservative, and that's why you only see the one side of it. They've been playing both sides forever. We know politically Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg itself or himself, Facebook itself and Zuckerberg himself, we know they fall very politically to the left. We know that. That's very clear. Okay. But the platform itself, it pushes people in both directions. So, but you can see it here. Everybody, look, the one person that said, that someone likes Facebook is my grandma likes Facebook. Of course, grandmas love Facebook. We all know that. But, even some of them are upset by what they've seen.
Mhm.
So Facebook will not win this battle. Decentralization will win in the end. I believe that 100%.
It's going to be a heck of a battle, though,
Yeah.
because they got a lot of money.
They do have a lot of money, but people hate it. There's no battle really, though. I mean, they have enough money to force usership and to force. Right now they have Oculus that will be rebranded as MetaQuest, which is the #1 VR headset, but it won't be long till that's taken away too.
My point is they have enough money to just change everything, change the narrative, change the brand, and just push it over and over and over and over until new generations don't even really think about Facebook, know what it was. They'll just know Meta and Metaverse, and
you can. No, I tend to disagree with that. I don't think that's gonna be true.
I just think if you have enough attention in media, you can create any narrative you want, and we've seen that over the last 2 years. Just keep saying it over and over, loud enough across enough different platforms, and you can make people think.
Yeah, but people who are savvy enough to be on the metaverse in the beginning, most of them are probably into crypto already.
Yeah.
And we know there's a very big push against that. So they're already kind of starting off behind the 8 ball, but they do have a lot of money, and it will be successful to an extent because they will be able to force it.
That's all I was saying.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I still think
it's not going to fail initially, but
Right.
ultimately decentralization will win.
It won't win the long run. I
not.
agree with that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Did you see this article? Meta relaxes Facebook's crypto ad policy.
Yeah, I saw it. It came out yesterday, and people were saying like, "Oh, this is great. It's gonna solve our issues with running all these ads." And I said, they've actually done. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time I've seen this headline over the last 4 years. Yeah. So, and
they usually make it easier for big exchanges with millions of dollars.
Right.
That's what make it easy.
They don't make it easy for regular people.
Yeah. All right, here we go. NFT music platforms to disrupt Spotify in 2022.
Yep.
We've got big news. When can we start talking about that? Our music stuff.
We can talk about it right now. It's
official.
It's a contract.
It's
official.
You want to say what it is?
Yeah, we are doing a joint 50-50 partnership with Akon Ventures and his team. They've got a lot of big stuff in the content creation department, obviously music, talent contracts, and more or less putting together a NFT-based music label where most of the funds raised and created by the artist stays with the artist. It doesn't all go to the label just to put it simply, the model right now is probably about 70% to the label, 30% to the artist. We're trying to flip that, get it 70% to the artist and, the smaller percentage to the label. So, Hit Music. We've got a lot of stuff in the works, creating beats and platforms and a lot of different things already.
Yeah.
But we just inked that contract with Akon and his team.
We did.
So,
big news.
Big news. Watch out. That's one of the things we're checking
Akon and Young Beezy.
Beezy?
Yeah, Beezy.
It's not going to be DZ?
No, it's definitely not going to be DZ. It's definitely going to be Beezy. Me and DZ have still not done a rap battle. We may one day.
Well, now we'll have all the studios and places to do it next year.
Yeah, if y'all watch the Hit Music stuff, you saw I did spit a little rhyme.
Yeah.
A while back about getting into my Lambo and having a bad back. Okay, acclimating or acclimatizing. That's a weird word. How would you pronounce that? Acclimatizing?
Yeah, I think so.
Acclimatizing. Maybe that's how I said it every time. To the crypto alt season, a look at altcoins. 13 years ago, Bitcoin white paper was, sent out in December. Was it December of 2008?
What was that?
When was the actual day of the Bitcoin white paper. It was 2008, correct? It was in December 2008, and then the first Bitcoin was January 2009.
I thought it was October 31st.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So it said just about a year. You're right. It was. That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
But so when we talk about Bitcoin created in 2009, a lot of people would make the argument, well, it was the first Bitcoin was created in 2009, but really the idea was created in 2008.
Yeah.
Which I always think it's so funny when people are like, oh yeah, I got a buddy got back into Bitcoin back in 2005.
Yeah, I always
love that's so funny.
Like, oh really?
Really? Tell me more about. Well, it's like a guy who came up. God bless his heart. I mean, he had the right mindset. You know.
Yeah.
Came up to me and said, "Man, I've been watching your channel since 2016." It's like, really cool, man. Cool. Man, I appreciate the support back then. You know?
Yeah. You really needed it back then.
Yeah, back then I needed it because I didn't even know I was going to do a channel back then. So.
Hey.
1 year in crypto seems like 10 years in real life, I guess.
That's facts.
While many consider the terms crypto, Bitcoin, and blockchain to be interchangeable, yada, yada, yada. Let's talk about altcoins. Well, how big could the altcoin market get? Are they just a fad? Look at the total altcoin market cap over time says this is a resounding no. Looks similar to the all-time Bitcoin chart. The graph above shows total crypto market cap between 2015 and 2021. Uptrend is clear. Phases indicated by green are altcoin seasons. Not literally on the chart. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess what it's saying is this. I've been telling you guys this. We've really only had one altcoin season ever.
Right.
One real true altcoin season. It looks like right now we are at the beginning. Look at the similarities of number 2. So here we go. How do I know when it's altcoin season? Well, fortunately, there's a host of metrics and indicators that investors use to gauge. We've talked about a lot of those on the channel. Here is what it looks like. Here is the path to altcoin season.
Love this chart.
We talked about the chocolate fondue example where you got a fountain that spits out chocolate. You want to dip it in. Depending on how low the chocolate flows, that's where you dip your little marshmallow in, or your strawberry if you're into fruits and berries, or if you're into berries and cream. Phase 1 is Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up. The flow of money into it causes price surges. Next, money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts outperforming it. And it's important to understand that during this time, if anything goes awry here, it has to start all the way back over. Mm-hmm. That's why they're so difficult to get. Number 2, Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin. We hear talks of the flipping. Funny, seems like where we're at right now. Money is starting to flow and trickle into large caps where we see large buy-ups happening. Then large caps. Ethereum's been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going parabolic. Regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are having pumps. Large caps have gone full vertical, and we're seeing blow off tops. This is actual altcoin season. Mid caps, low caps, and micro caps all tend to pump around the same time. Large caps have been outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. It seems every coin is going parabolic regardless of fundamentals. Memes are everywhere. Everyone is super excited, and you feel mania in the air. Now, I'll tell you something really interesting for what I think here, which is we've been talking a lot about Bitcoin topping out in December, which I still believe. I mean, we get to December 20th and we're still at $60,000. I'll have to be thinking hard, okay? Right now, still believe we're on the cusp of a gigantic, momentous, very quick rise, okay? When we look at altcoins running in January and February, it's starting to make sense to me, because why will Bitcoin run by the end of the year? Because hedge funds have a responsibility to investors to give them returns by the end of the year. What are most hedge funds not into? Crazy low altcoins, right? If they're into Bitcoin, they're into Ethereum, so expect those to run. Some other coins, January and February, you have the release of the hedge funds having control over everything. You let the retail mania push up the altcoins. We could see the most explosive altcoin season ever, followed by what I believe will be the most disastrous bear market of all time. So we'll see what happens there. We've talked about that a lot. So, yeah, Patriots Bills game on Monday night is going to be fun. The Falcons really need to beat the Buccaneers this week, just so everybody knows.
Yeah,
we really, really do.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Traditional. The Falcons have never beaten Tom Brady, but it is very difficult, even, with the exception of Tom Brady and the Patriots when they were doing it, it's very difficult to beat both your divisional opponents twice, to defeat all your divisional opponents twice in a season. So that's why the Saints destroyed the Buccaneers a couple weeks ago. The Saints are terrible. So I definitely do think because of the divisional rivalry, this is an out of division game. I'd say no way, but it's a divisional rivalry. I definitely do think we have a shot this week. So we do need to win. I still think that we have a great chance to make the playoffs this year. We will lose in the first game. We're tied right now for last playoff spot.
Yeah.
And the Saints were ahead of us, and they lost too. They lost last night. And it's because the NFC is mediocre. It's not because we're good. We're not middle of the pack good. It's just so AFC heavy this year. So,
yeah.
Cardinal, well, you disagree?
Yeah.
We still have the Lions on the schedule and the Panthers.
That will make the playoffs or that will win Sunday?
All we have to do is win probably 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
We're already at 5. We still have the Panthers, which we should win because we lost the first one. And we have the Lions left. We got those 2 games that we should win. So
I don't know. I think we lose this weekend. I don't know about the playoffs.
We can still lose this weekend and we can still make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know about the playoffs, but I don't think we'll win this weekend.
Yeah. I think just the fact that the Falcons are. Did you know I saw a chart that showed the amount of average team help the quarterbacks receive? You know, the Falcons have the very, very worst one in the whole NFL. Matt Ryan has received 0 help this whole season.
I'm not surprised. There's been more drop balls, tight coverage. Like
Unbelievable.
It's a joke. I'm going to watch Mike Evans. Hopefully he can help my fantasy team win.
Whatever. Cardano went up 15%. That was good. Polygon went up 25%. So also pretty good. So there you go for your altcoin season. Adidas steps into the metaverse by partnering with NFT projects Bored Ape Yacht Club and Punk's Comic. The German multinational corporation that crafts athletic shoes, sportswear, and accessories, Adidas AG, is teaming up with the non-fungible token brands Bored Ape Yacht Club and the comic series Punk's Comic. Adidas revealed last week that the company partnered with Coinbase and believes the metaverse is one of the most exciting developments in digital. I'm going to pull something up real quick here before we got off the end of the show, see if I got a response on that. Talking about the futures. Why is mine so weird? Adidas wants the world to know it's entering the world of blockchain technology in a big way. Now, was this a customization that was available, or was this something that was like, was there an Adidas logo on a Bored Ape?
No.
Well, then is it really a Bored Ape? You see what I'm saying? Because this is the one I'm pretty sure they put on their thing. So,
well, what they probably made shoes that you could then add to it.
We can add you can add his shoes to a Bored Ape. You probably could. They have the 3D versions, which, by the way, I do have the answer on that for sure. On the closing.
Okay.
On Deribit, which is the world's largest Bitcoin Ethereum options exchange, bigger than CME. Almost all the options contracts expire at 8 UTC, which coordinated universal time. That's 4 a.m. Eastern. So by the time we come in on Friday, they've already closed.
So that's Deribit, you said, or
Yeah.
Deribit? Yeah.
Yeah, which is the biggest one in the world.
So people just base it on that. Yeah.
So that's where the majority goes. Didn't you think that was just like a small crypto exchange?
No, I knew they were big for futures. I know.
At one point, I thought that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how significant they were. And they're even more significant than I came to find out they are.
Yeah, I noticed it when we used to look at Exablock stuff almost every day.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
always reference Deribit.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. It's happening. G Money, Punk's Comics, and Bored Ape Yacht Club, and in the metaverse. The company's also updated its Twitter profile with a Bored Ape Yacht Club image. Adidas purchased Bored Ape Yacht Club 8774, which was sold for 46 Ether or 156K at the time of the settlement. It has heart-shaped glasses, a gold hoop for earrings, a board look, a fisherman's hat, and blue fur. In the recent Adidas tweet, the company has the Bored Ape sporting a yellow Adidas jacket. So they added the jacket to it. You can tell it doesn't match, too.
Yep.
That's weird. How do you do that? I mean, they just take a JPEG and they add it, or it's a separate NFT, you think?
it has to be a separate NFT, I would think, unless it's designed to have those additions in the.
Oh, this is it. This is it. He was nude.
Yeah.
They just threw a jacket on.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't think you should be doing that, right?
It seems strange.
It does seem a little strange to do that. I don't know. A little odd. Speaking of NFTs, we never got into talking about the Pluto Alliance thing.
Ooh.
So a lot of people are asking about the Pluto Alliance drop that we had. It is not sold out yet. It's about 35% sold out, something like that. Here's the thing. The gas fees are so high. The gas fees right now are higher than the cost of the NFTs. So it is an Ethereum-based NFT, our Pluto Alliance version 2. So that is playing a big factor. We do believe if the gas fees come down, that they will sell out. But, this is the thing. This is why we're looking at other chains for stuff in the short term, because we are getting hit so hard. If y'all got the opportunity to purchase an NFL team that was not the Falcons, would you do it? Probably.
Yeah. That's what I
right.
said.
Probably.
I said possibly.
It's a very small chance we'll be able to buy the Falcons because it's not just a money thing.
Right.
The team has to be available,
yeah,
and the NFL has to approve you to buy that team. So for whatever reason, if we got approved by another team and not the Falcons, we would probably consider that also. But, eventually still would be the goal, I think.
Yep. I agree.
All right, guys. That's all I got for today. I got some stuff. Remember, Bloomberg TV or Bloomberg Radio at 3:15 on XM Radio. Go check me out. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.